Hello everyone, welcome to my new knitting channel Xayema Math. My name is Emma Matonsi and this is my new knitting channel. I will be showing you how to knit and we will be making a lot of projects together. I hope you will enjoy my videos and subscribe to this channel. So in this video I am going to be showing you how to knit a scarf or a cowl using a garter stitch. A garter stitch is a very simple stitch when you're still learning how to knit. Basically it means that we will be knitting every row. So in this tutorial we are going to be using a chunky yarn, 5.0mm needles, a yarn needle, scissor, and we are going to be using these buttons to just decorate our cowl. The first thing that we are going to do, we are going to first find our yarn tail. After finding our yarn tail, we are going to create a slip knot. I hang the yarn tail on my pointing finger, pull it through to the middle using my right hand fingers. Please pause and rewind the video just to get it right and just to see how I am doing it so you can get it right. This is my slip knot. This is how I have created my slip knot. Once you have created the slip knot, you need to make sure that it is nice and not too tight. Then the next thing that we are going to do, we are going to start casting. For this cowl that we are making, we will be casting 17 stitches or loops. Please watch closely. You can press play or replay just to see how I am doing it. It is going to be difficult the first time, but it will get better with practice. So after we've casted our 17 stitches, we'll just count them just to make sure that they are 17 before we start knitting. So this is going to be the first row. What we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 needles and you are going to insert your red needle in front of the loop, push it through to the back like you are making an X. Pick up your working yarn with your hand, wrap it around to the back needle clockwise and push it through to the front of the loop. After that, slip the stitch completely off from your left needle to the right needle. Then we are just going to continue doing that till the end of the row. Then now we are on our second row. For our second row, we will continue knitting, doing the same thing till the end of the row, and we are going to knit until we reach 112 rows for this cowl that we are making. we'll be knitting 112 rows. So we are going to continue doing the same thing until we reach 112 rows. Let's continue knitting. I'll meet you after we've completed 112 rows. Alright, now that we have completed our 112 rows, we need to start casting off or binding off our work. You just have to make sure that your scarf is not twisted around. We are going to knit the first stitch like we've been knitting all along, and we are going to knit the second stitch. After knitting the second stitch, we are going to use the tip of our left needle to pull up and over your first stitch from the left needle, and we will drop it off and be left with one stitch. And we'll continue doing this until we reach the end of the row. You knit your second stitch, use the tip of the left needle, pull up and over your first stitch and drop it off. Knit the next stitch, do the same thing. Now that we have completed binding off our work, we are just going to cut off the working yarn, leaving just a small portion. After binding off, we are going to weave in every end. For this one, we have two ends. We have the first one where we started knitting, and then we have the second one on top where we were binding off our work. So after weaving in, make sure that when you are weaving in, you're weaving in on the wrong side of the scarf. Then we are going to start. You can leave the scarf as it is if you want, but for this one, because we are making a cowl, we're going to be joining the two edges of the scarf together. What we are going to do is just going to go back and forth with the sewing needle, and make sure that you don't skip a stitch so that our work will be nice and neat. Just going to continue doing that, the back and forth, until the end of the scarf or the end of this row. So now that we are done with joining the scarf, the two edges together, now we are just going to weave in the end. Here's our complete scarf. This is our complete cowl. This is how it looks like. This is how our cowl looks like. Then the next thing that I am going to do is I am going to be sewing in buttons for decoration. Leave the scarf as it is. If you want, you can skip this step.